good day. It is a good day. PSA, if there is a glare on my glasses, I'm taking them off after the intro. I just want to see if there is one. So if there is one, don't worry, I'm going to be taking them off shortly. Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Susie, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on that link or that thumbnail, the picture of my face, the words above, beside it, below it, across it, down the middle of it. I don't know what you clicked on, you know what you clicked on, but whatever you clicked on, thank you for clicking on it. I am so glad you are here. For today's video, I am going to be doing college advice. It is back to school season. We all know it as much as we wish it wasn't true. It is slowly but surely creeping up on all of us. So I figured I'd start my back to school videos with some good old advice. Last year was my first year of college. I am now a sophomore, but it was crazy. I learned so much, and so I figured that it would be a good video to do because I remember how nervous I was going into it, and I literally thought I was gonna pee my pants like during the whole process, like initially, because it is a huge change. So if you want to hear what I have to say about it, then keep watching. Also, if this is the first time you see my face, hey, what's up? I'm Susie, and like I said, you can call me Sus or Susie. Yep, either one of those works for me. Yeah, I would love it if you would like and subscribe and join this dab family. Over here, our dab game is strong AF, so yeah. But if you decided also that you're gonna click off of this video, before you go, make sure you like and subscribe and join this dab family. Yeah, with that said, if you would like to hear my college advice, then keep watching. The glasses are coming off because there's a little bit of a glare and I don't really like that. So just letting you know, I literally can't see the camera right now, but I'm assuming you're right around this vicinity where it's like kind of black and standing. Anyways, let's get on to some college advice. So I want to say before I get started that this is the first of my back to school videos, but I also have a huge try on clothing haul coming and an apartment decoration haul coming. So if you want to see those, or if you don't, like and subscribe to the Dab Family. Today I'm going to be talking about 8 topics that I think are pretty important and you guys might have some questions about if you're going into your first year of college. I'm going to try to go through them kind of briefly and keep it like short and sweet because I know you guys don't have all day, you know. But if by chance you indeed do have all day, then make sure you like and subscribe and watch all my videos because you can spend a whole day watching them. There's so many. So the topics I'm going to be covering are money, dorm life, classes, partying, friends, boys, food, and picking a major. So yeah, I feel like that pretty much covers the first year of college, and if you don't want to listen to all those topics in just one, feel free to skip through the video. It is America, or maybe you're not in America, but wherever you are, you have rights on YouTube. I don't know what I'm saying. So let's go ahead and get into it. Money. $80 bills, y'all, you know. Money is something that in college you will understand it becomes very, very sparse. Because you always hear people that are like, oh, I'm a broke college student, I'm a broke college student. And you're like, shut up, like you're so annoying. But like once you're in it, you're like, this is hard. Here's my few tips on how to manage your money. 1, if you have a source of income, that's awesome. I would set a budget of like how much you can spend for fun and then how much you are gonna save for like things that you actually need per month. That's probably like the best way to kind of set up your spending and how you're gonna kind of figure things out. And you always want to have a little bit of extra money just set to the side because you never know when you're gonna need to like buy something for a class or for this or for that. If you don't have a source of income, I probably will this next year, but I didn't my freshman year. You're gonna have to be even more careful with your money. If you're thinking about getting a job once you go up there, I think it's great. I think, you know, in college towns, like it's all college kids working everywhere literally, so there are gonna be plenty of jobs. But if you are a person who gets overwhelmed or kind of like, you know, just freaks out very easily, I would give it the first semester. So like get through fall, get adjusted, go through Christmas break, and then when you come back, I would start looking for a job to get your job in place so you could have that for the next however many years you're there. But if you need to get a job, you need to get a job. Last thing with money, going out is like and alcohol and everything. Like I know kids are underage in college, but like don't act like you don't know what goes on. Don't act like you don't know, okay? I personally don't drink. I am not interested in it. I just don't really feel the need to, but a lot of people do in college and it's totally fine. It's like $10 covers, which is like $10 to get in to a club or wherever you're going on the weekends. That's $10 right there. If you go during the weekdays, say you go 3 times during the week, which sounds crazy, but people do it. That's 5, 10, 15 more bucks. Add that on to the 10, that's 25, not including any alcohol that you're gonna have to pay for. 25, add on maybe 15 alcohol, you're at 35, 40 bucks right there for a week. So I would really prioritize your spending when it comes to going out, because that's something I see a lot of my friends do. Their bank accounts are super low, and then they can't turn down that one offer to go out, and then like they don't have any money. So just be super conscious of that when you're doing your thing, okay? If you have any questions about money, how to manage it, how to get it maybe, definitely just comment down below. Also, speaking of money, you can always like find little ways to make money in college. Like, people will pay for a lot of things. Like, if you're good at organizing, if you're good at creating study guides, that's a huge way people make so much money off of that. If you make a good study guide for a class and you email it out to the class, a lot of people will pay you to buy that. So that's something that you can do. There are a lot of options, a lot of things that people will just need little in and outs that you could get money from, just not drugs. Okay, moving on. Topic number 2, dorm life / being away from home. It is hard. Not everyone does it. A lot of people stay at home, which is totally cool. Personally, my college is 4 hours away from my house, so it was a bit of an adjustment. Trying to sum this up like as quickly as I can, but there's a lot to say. So if you're gonna be in a dorm, and whether you're living with a friend or a stranger, living in the same room with someone is a huge adjustment. If you've never done that before, it's big. Like, it is probably bigger than you think it's gonna be. My roommate and I did have some issues. Like, at one point we were really close going into it, and I didn't know her at all, and then we kind of had like a little falling out, but then once we came back for spring semester, we kind of were like, okay, that was really dumb, like, let's get over it, and now we're like great friends. And I honestly lucked out so much. Like, I'm so glad that she was my roommate. I learned so much from her. Jill, if you're watching this, hey girl, what's up? Yeah, that's my girl. Living in the same room with someone, it's all about compromise and respect. That's a huge thing, is you really do have to learn how to respect the other person, and they need to learn how to respect you. And if they're not, like, you gotta say something, because you cannot live in passive aggression. And for girls, I feel like that's like such a possibility, because girls are so passive aggressive sometimes. So just be conscious of that. I don't know, and just set some ground rules, you know? Just be like, hey, like, I'm cool with this, I'm not cool with this, like, and if they have an issue with it, be like, okay, like, how can we work this out? Yeah, and then as far as being away goes, it is so hard when you get homesick. I never really got homesick, I just didn't always want to be at school, if that made sense. But dealing with homesickness is just, if it becomes unbearable, then obviously maybe you're not at the right school. But if it's something that you think could be temporary, I suggest getting involved. Get as involved as you can. Once you start finding those things that make you feel better, I think the homesickness will like loosen its grip a little bit on your heart. But I swear, for my first couple of weeks, I probably called my aunt every day, like every other day, if not every day. Like, there was always just something that I had to call her about and be like, what is going on? Moving on. Topic 3, classes. So classes, I feel like, are what make people probably the most nervous. I was like so nervous. I probably was shaking like going to my first class, because I was like, college boys, college people, college professors, college work. I was freaking out, you know. Lecture halls. So lecture halls can be super intimidating and super scary. When there's like 300 kids in your class, you're like, what? All the way in the back of the lecture hall is probably not the best place for you, just because the people that tend to sit back there are most of the times on their computers, like, because a lot of people are on their computers, but they're like on Facebook and all this stuff, and it can be super distracting. So like, I would say like mid-back, middle, mid-front. Like, keep in that middle section. If you're super confident and you are totally want to absorb everything, go ahead, sit in the front row. Like, that's super admirable. Actually, thinking back on it, I did sit in the front for a couple of classes, and it was great because the professors knew me by name and they were a little more lenient with my grades, if you know what I mean. In the long run, you're gonna thank yourself for it, because you will pay a little bit more attention and you'll be less likely to fall asleep, because the professor will be able to see your face. 2, don't be afraid to sit next to strangers. I feel like everyone tries really hard to like sit by themselves, like, when in reality, like, someone's gonna have to sit next to you. So, and don't be afraid to like start a conversation, because some of like the best friends that I made at Florida State were people that I just like sat next to in class, and then we sat next to each other every day, and then we talked, and then we studied together. Also, textbooks, as far as classes go, like, make sure you know like what textbooks you really need to get, like which ones you're actually gonna use, because like they will try and get as much money out of you as possible because we're stuck in the system, you know, but anyways. And if you are gonna have to buy a lot of textbooks, don't buy them full price through the university unless financial aid is paying for it, because then it's free for you, obviously. But if you have to buy them, like find them on Chegg, Amazon, your class's Facebook page, anything. People are always selling them for a lot cheaper, so definitely look into it and find your cheapest option for textbooks. And last thing for classes I have to say is studying. College classes are a lot harder, guys. Like, they really, really are. And like, when I say deadlines will creep up on you, I mean it. Like, I am the world's biggest procrastinator ever. Your syllabus is like your lifeline in your classes, so like you need to be watching them diligently, because that's the only thing that's going to tell you when stuff is due. Like, your professor's not going to remind you. So that's like, that was a huge adjustment for me, like learning to be fully responsible for like all of my classwork and everything, and like actually having to study in advance. Like, and of course, you know, I pulled a couple all-nighters, you know. My standing record is 11 hours straight in the library, but who's bragging? This video is going to be 10 million years long. One more thing for classes: if by chance you do not make an A or a B, you get a C, you get a D, you get an F. Nobody likes to have, you tried everything and you gave that class your whole heart and you still got a C, or you failed it, or whatever happened. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, they make it seem like it seriously is the end of the world, and it's so scary. You can take it again, you know, you can bounce back, you can bring your GPA back up. Like, it's not the end of the world. Okay, moving on to topic 4, partying. This topic's gonna be pretty short because I don't party, so I don't really know a lot about it. But the only thing really that I'm gonna have to say about partying is just know that it is not the most important thing, not just in college, but like in the world. It's super fun to have fun, I totally get that, but just know that like there are a million other things that you could be doing if you don't necessarily want to be partying. And like I said before, like, you have to watch your money on the alcohol on the cover. But the other thing about partying, girls, when you go out, like, do be diligent enough. Like, obviously if you're drinking, you're not going to be your whole self, but like, if you go out, make sure you go with the right people. Make sure you're keeping an eye on everything around you. Don't take drinks from strangers. Obviously, like, if you're gonna go home with someone or do something else, like, don't go with a stranger. Like, I know some people who have been through stuff like, you know, like that with guys, and it's horrible, the fact that there are guys that walk around us that would force themselves on a girl or do something that would hurt her. So I would just say, not to freak you out, not to freak you out. Partying, you know, it doesn't happen to everyone, but it does happen, so definitely be super careful. Moving on to topic 5, friends. No one told me life was gonna be this way. Everybody loves friends. Sometimes it'll be super easy and you'll feel like you'll meet your best friends right off the bat, and sometimes it'll take a super long time. But if I have one thing to say about friends in college, and if my friends are watching this, it's not about you, it's not about anyone. I'm just saying, like, know that your first friends do not have to be your best friends. I feel like a lot of times when you meet someone and you kind of click with them at the very beginning, you tend to kind of latch on to each other and do everything together just because like it's scary and you don't want to be alone like at the beginning of college. So like, when you make friends with people initially, you're like, oh, like, let's do everything together. But as like the weeks go by, you might kind of grow apart and be like, oh, like, I got to know this person a little bit, and like maybe they're not the friend that I want to have, and like that's totally fine, you know. Another great way to make friends is get involved. Everyone says get involved. Talk to people in your hall and in your dorm or in your apartment complex, wherever you are. Like, it especially, oh, I cannot emphasize this enough, in the first few weeks of school, that's your time to strike, boy, I swear. Like, I made all my friends during that time, I swear. And like, I know what I just said about first friends, but like, I don't even mean best friends. I just mean like in the first like week or two, most freshmen are like super friendly because everyone's trying to make friends, you know? So like, if you just say hi to people in the dorm, like people you walk past in the hallway, be like, hey, like, what's up? Like, I'm Sus, who are you? Like, you know, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And like, it sounds super weird, but like, I met so many people by just doing that. My friends and I would literally sit in the lobby and just like watch people walk by, and like, we'd be like, hey, like, what's up? And they'd be like, hey, like, blah, 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 like, you know, like, what are you guys doing? Why are you just sitting here? And we'd be like, yeah, we're just sitting, like, you wanna come, like, hang out? And they'd be like, sure. And like, you'd be surprised. Like, I swear, on like my side of the hall, like, we knew almost like everyone on like our floor and like the other floors below us, just because like we literally just sat there and made friends, you know? Just get your name out there, you know? Brand, market yourself, network. Anyways, like, moving on to topic 6, boys. This is for the girls, obviously, or hey, you know, if you're a boy and you're into it, whatever. But I don't really have a lot to say about the topic of boys because, again, I'm not super experienced in it. I love boys. They're so cute. A lot of people kind of go like a little boy crazy, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine, just be careful. You know what I'm saying when I say be careful, but this video is so real, like I'm not even messing around. A lot of guys can be super mean in college, and like they kind of like objectify girls, and I'm not trying to generalize guys, obviously there are great guys out there, but a lot of the guys that I met, once they found out that I wasn't interested in that way, like they weren't interested, period. So I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I'm not going to say it outright because I'm not comfortable. Yeah, I don't know. College is kind of different with guys, because it's not just like, you know, your high school, the guys that you pretty much know everything about. Like it is like thousands of guys, so you will meet like the craziest people. You meet such crazy people, you meet such weird people, you meet funny people, and you will meet nice people. You know what, I don't know. If you have any questions about boys, college boys, anything like that, yeah okay, if you have any questions about boys, then go ahead and comment them down below. Go ahead and comment them down below. I would love to answer them. Believe it or not, even though I'm not experienced in the department, I'm pretty good about giving advice. I do have a lot of guy friends and a couple of really good ones. So all those girls who are like, oh my god, I can't wait for college guys, like high school guys are so mature, like just remember that, like especially freshmen, like college guys are just high school guys without parental guidance and rules. So might not find your Prince Charming in the first year, but like he'll be there eventually, don't worry. Alright, I have to go eat dinner and I'll be back. Hey, before I start back up again, like and subscribe. Plug. Moving on to topic number 7, food. So if you are freshmen, unless you like have a lot of dietary like needs, or if you are going to be cooking for yourself, I would suggest getting a meal plan, even if it's like the lowest of the low meal plans. Like you're going to need it at some point, like at one point or another, like restaurants on campus or just like, you know, the dining hall. It'll come in handy if you find yourself in a predicament or situation where you like can't go out and get food and you just like don't have anything else to eat. Personally, for me, I did not have a meal plan, and at first it was really hard. Like I wasn't really eating the first semester just because like I would cook. But actually that was like mostly health problems, so never mind. But if you don't have a meal plan like me, just kind of make sure you have your ish planned out a little bit, because if not, like you'll find yourself skipping a lot of meals and then eating at like the wrong times and eating a bunch of crap, and it just gets really bad. And I was like, what the heck, what do I eat? I would suggest always having snacks in your room, like as many snacks as you can have in your room, because like you're really gonna want them, especially like super late at night. And even though you're not supposed to eat super late at night, like everybody does it unless you're like super disciplined, but like I'm a millennial. What is discipline? Easy Mac ramen, your noodle of choice, whatever, something quick like that is always good. Pretzels, like gummies, granola bars are always really great. You want something like sweeter and you don't want pasta, it's like, what do I eat? So a lot of times for breakfast, there were like a handful of times that I had oatmeal for dinner. Hey, it's dog eat dog world out there. You gotta do what you gotta do. Also set aside like a decent portion of money for food, because you're gonna spend a lot of money on food. Like just trust me, I know. Like any social thing other than like a party or anything in college, it's always like, let's go get food, let's order food. You want to order pizza, you want to go get ice cream, you want to order insomnia cookies, like you want to go do this, you want to get sushi, you want to do this, you want to do that. Like it's all about food. So save money for it, because I promise you will want to. And coffee is a staple in college, it really is. If you don't like coffee, again, it's honestly probably better, because it's pretty addicting. It's not super great for you if you put a bunch of sugar and cream and crap in it. So I guess with coffee, I would say start trying to wean yourself off of like all the cream and all the sugar, because that adds a lot of calories and a lot of like crap that you don't need to be putting in your body. So I don't know, I can't really say anything about coffee. I had coffee every single day of my spring semester, so Starbucks too, not even like cheap coffee, it was pricey as frick. I guess that's all I have to say about food. I don't know, y'all, my brain is like all over the place. So if you have any questions about food, how to eat in college, what to eat, how to plan your meals, then comment down below and I will be glad to answer them. Moving on to topic number 8, and the final topic, picking a major. I don't have a major yet, I'm just gonna say it, I'm just gonna come out and say it, I'm undecided. I don't have a major, I'm not proud of it, but I don't have one. That's how you would expect me to act, right? But no, I literally don't give two craps about the fact that I don't have a major, because I know that I will figure it out. In college, if you go in with a major or if you go in undecided, you don't have to be 100% certain of what you want to do. I feel like everyone is like, and you will feel so much pressure to pick a major, and I'm not trying to like freak you out or anything, but like I still feel the pressure. Like my advisors, my family, everyone is like, oh, you should pick a major. Like, pick this major. You need to pick a major. Like, you're running out of time. Pick a major. And I'm like, stop telling me what to do. Just know that, like, you have your first 2 full years to figure your crap out until you have to pick a major, you know? So, like, don't just settle for something. Like, I declared, and then I was like, I don't want to do that at all, so I'm not doing it, you know? And if you go in as a biology major and then you get through your first semester and you're like, holy crap, I do not want to be a biology major, don't be a biology major. It's so simple. Like, literally do what you want, because it is your life and it is the rest of your life. Speaking of the rest of your life, don't let that freak you out. Everyone's like, oh, well, you have to pick what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, and like, that's so false. A lot of people graduate with degrees and then they don't do anything remotely close to their degree. They do something in a completely different field. So just know, I guess, like, I would say the stigma around your major is extremely false, overrated, overplayed, and it's just not, I don't think it needs to be like as emphasized as it is. You are in charge of your own path, and you know, you're in charge of yourself, so you need to make sure you don't let all the other crap and all of these like words flying at you, advisors, family, friends, everything, like, you need to know that, like, when it comes down to it, in the end, it is 100% your choice. It'll all work out. It'll be okay. I promise. Yes, so that is it. My college advice. This video is probably 25 years long. You probably aged. You probably have a beard by now and a couple of kids popped out. But if you're still watching this video, thanks for watching it. I hope this helped you guys in some way, shape, or form. Basically, I just want you guys to know that college is not as scary as it seems. These are just a little tips that I've learned, a couple of things to keep in mind, I think, when you do go to college. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped. If you have any questions or any other things that you want to hear about, or literally anything, as long as it's not hate, go ahead and comment that down below. I would love to respond to you guys and talk to you guys about whatever. Definitely like and subscribe, join this dab family. If you want to see more back to school videos, which are coming, I promise they're coming. My back to school haul, my apartment haul, maybe some recipes, it's all coming. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe so you can stay updated. I hope you have an amazing, fantastic, wonderful, beautiful, blessed by God and unicorns day and week and life, and I will see you guys in my next video. It's gonna be okay. College is fun.